Someday I'm going away where the wind don't cry.
What's up, everybody? It's been a little while. We had some technical difficulties with the computer that we were editing with, so that's why we haven't put out a video in a little while. So in this video, we're going to get motor vessel Aqua-Cultured's fire extinguishing systems inspected by Fire Ranger. They're a company based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I will make sure I'll put their contact info down below. Glenn is going to come on board, inspect all of our handheld fire extinguishers, plus our fixed mount engine room automatic fire suppression system. Very important one down there, and it's very interesting to watch the process and how that thing works. Glenn is also going to show us the different types of extinguishers available to you, how to use them, what type of fires they'll take care of, and what you need to know on your boat so that you can be safe. I know that this is a very important topic for many cruisers out there, so I hope you watch it through the entirety, because it is very important information. I know there's a lot of it to go through. And then also stick towards the end, because we have a special announcement for you that I don't want you to miss, so hang around and enjoy.
Fire extinguishers are not firefighting devices. They're devices designed to stop fires at their incipient stage. So they're devices that you'll use to get out of the vessel, because if you attempt to fight a fire and you don't have a path of egress to escape, and the fire gets around you, you can't get out. So the point is to take the fire extinguisher, use it to escape. That's what it is. It's not to run onto a vessel that's on fire to fight a fire that's been engulfed for 15 minutes, because that's what they're not designed to do. So when you pick up a fire extinguisher, you want to follow the 4 rules with the PASS, P-A-S-S. So your first instructions, it states you want to P for pull the pin. Now the pin is held in with a little seal called a tamper seal. We call it a tamper seal. That seal can break with under 15 pounds of pressure. So it's not like a zip tie or anything like that. It can just break off very easily, so that you can remove the pin. So now I've removed the pin, and that's my first stage, pull. So pull is pull the pin. Second stage is A for aim. Now you want to aim at the base of the fire, and you want to stand back 8 to 10 feet. When you aim at the base of the fire, you want to hold the fire extinguisher in your less dominant hand and aim with your dominant hand. You left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed. Okay,
so you want to hold the hose with your right hand, hold the fire extinguisher with your left hand. All right? So now all you're doing is squeezing, which is an easy action to make. But you can direct and aim at the fire with your more dominant hand, so your aim is better. Your third S in pass is for squeeze, all right? Which is squeeze the handle. It's going to depress the valve, and it's going to expel the contents out through the hose. So you must hold the hose, get ready before you squeeze the handle. This particular extinguisher has had all the dry chemical removed, so all in there is some nitrogen propellant, just to give you an idea of how loud it is and how quickly the extinguisher also empties. So we've pulled the pin, we've aimed, holding it in our less dominant hand and holding the hose with our dominant hand. We're now going to squeeze the handle. We're going to aim at the base of the fire, and the last one is S, which stands for sweep. And as we squeeze the handle, standing back 8 to 10 feet, we're going to sweep the base of the fire and blanket whatever is on fire, so it creates that crust on top, so it starves the fire of oxygen and diminishes the fire. So we've pulled, aim, squeeze, and sweep.
Oh my god, I'm so excited! Oh, I'm so excited!
Okay. Alright, so now it's your turn.
Yes!
She has been wanting to do that a very long time.
So I'm gonna stand back. I'm gonna stand back.
Okay.
I'm gonna remind you as you go, because you're never gonna be able to remember.
Okay.
Okay, so we picked up the fire extinguisher. We saw a small fire in
There's
a trash
a fire!
can.
Ah!
It's at its incipient stage. The whole vessel's not on fire. We're going to make an attempt to extinguish the fire before it grows into something that we can't
Monster.
handle. Okay, so the first thing is you want to pull the pin.
Okay.
So you can pull the pin.
Whoa, a little harder than you thought.
I thought, yeah.
It is a little harder.
It is harder, yeah.
They break very easily.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can twist the pin, sometimes you can pull
Just
this
pull
tag.
this off and...
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you've pulled the pin. The second stage was your aim, which is your holding your less dominant hand. Aim. Where are you aiming?
I'm aiming at the
base of the fire. And how
fire.
far back are you standing? 8 to 10 feet.
I was going to say 6. Sorry, too close. 8 to 10 feet from that fire.
Each fire extinguisher lab will slightly differ depending on the
Okay.
manufacturer, but I always recommend 8 to 10 feet.
8
You
to
can
10
always
feet.
move forward. If you're too close, it blows
Yeah,
all
and
the fire
you're-
around, so I'd like to start further back and move closer. You have 8 to 10 feet. Now we'll do this because this is kind of a two-stage. You're going to squeeze the handle, you're going to aim at the base of the fire, and you're going to sweep from side to side to blanket the fire. So we
Okay.
have squeeze and sweep.
Okay. Are we
It's
ready?
all on you.
Ah! That was so fun.
Now we have another one. So that was your tester.
Oh my gosh.
That was your tester. Now we gotta do the real one.
My heart.
So talk about these. Just have nitrogen. Just to give you an idea. This is a £5.
That's big.
It's just a £5 CO2 fire extinguisher. So inside here is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide has very different characteristics than the ABC dry chemical powder. It displaces oxygen. That's how with the ABC dry chemical powder, it's coating on top and creating a crust. It's still starving of oxygen. But this extinguisher will actually deplete the oxygen in the space.
Yeah.
So you don't want to depress and
Be stuck in
dispose
there,
of
yeah,
fire
you'll die.
CO2 because you're going to displace all the oxygen
Yeah.
and get sleepy. So what we have here is a fire extinguisher, exactly the same technique, except this time I'm going to let you fire the CO2. What it's going to do, it's going to give you an idea of how loud it is. It's going to give you an idea of how far it projects. You don't need to deplete the whole fire extinguisher.
No.
I would just take it, give it one blast, see
Okay.
how it is, and then feel how confident you are. But each time you do the blast, I'll put a new Tampa seal on so you
Okay.
get an idea. Okay, it's heavier, and this would be specifically for electrical fires and flammable liquids, B-rated and C-rated fires. Okay, so this is your big test now. You've had 2 testers. Now you're going to fire the CO2. We're going to use our same rug.
Our trash.
Our trash can rug. Yes.
There's an electrical wire there that's caught on fire.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Oscar-winning performance so
Done.
far.
Thank you. Thank
Emmy
you.
award winning.
I'm excited. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Bigger. Definitely bigger. Okay.
We've removed
Okay.
the Tampa seal. We've removed the pin.
Okay. P. I've removed the
Nope,
pin.
not quite.
Oh.
You haven't quite removed the pin.
Oh, I haven't. Just kidding. P. I've removed the pin. Okay. Now
you notice here the horn is very different. It's like
very
a fixed horn.
yeah. So
So you would aim again, fire,
sweep.
and I would give it one.
Just one
I would
blast.
give it one blast.
So
and
we
I
don't
would-
have
and, I would,
time.
and then I would see how comfortable you feel.
Okay. I'm scared.
Woohoo!
Oh my goodness, that was cool. It actually got really cold.
Yeah, well, carbon dioxide. Yeah, it's dry ice basically.
That's
So if you want to
cool.
deplete it, I don't want you to deplete
No,
it in
'cause
here,
we'll-
but we
yeah.
can go out onto the aft deck, and then you can deplete it. It'll give you an idea of
this
So-
is the most exciting thing.
We'll have to invent a new rug fire.
Oh my-
Yeah.
Here's my
Yeah,
pin.
you've removed your pin.
Uh,
Do that. Every single fire extinguisher has the instructions on the front, but nobody reads the
No,
instructions.
you're in a.
Exactly.
I got too much things going on.
So you see here, it says
It's like an
exactly the
airplane
same
safety
instructions.
manual.
Hold upright, start 8 feet back, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the lever, sweep from side to
Or
side.
if it's you, 2 meters.
2 meters exactly.
If it's
I've
you.
lived here too long. It's
I'm
feet
like,
now.
it's 2 meters.
So, but it's different because you've got to
Yeah.
kind of, you can't shake the
No,
hose, you actually
so
have
you're
to
moving.
rotate it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little bit different.
Hip motions. Okay.
There's a lot of pressure on you here.
I know.
feel.
I'm excited.
So hold the pin. We're
Okay,
aiming
I've
at the
pulled
base
the
of the
pin.
fire.
I'm ready. I'm gonna squeeze.
We're
and I'm
happy.
gonna
We have a path of egress behind us in case we don't get the fire. We can
So I can-
escape.
That's right. You
Do
jump
you
in
run
the water.
with this, or should I like chuck it if things hit fan?
You'll be fine. I think how well you've done so far. I think no fire stands a chance.
Good. I'm excited.
She's gonna want to be a firewoman after
I
this.
can't wait. Okay, are we ready?
Here we go.
It's happening. It's frozen. Look at that. Oh my god.
Oh, was that fun or
That
what?
was the coolest
There's a-
thing.
Yeah, that's your.
It's not as fun when there's an actual fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's icicle.
Yeah, it's like dry ice. So.
Look at that. That's cool as heck.
Now the benefit
And the
of
fire is out.
the benefit of the CO2 fire extinguisher is specifically designed for flammable liquids, which is everything you have in your machinery
Yeah.
spaces, and electrical, which is all over the vessel.
Yeah.
But you've got to be conscientious enough that it's going to deplete oxygen, so
Yeah.
you don't want to
You're gonna
fire it off in a
yeah.
broom cupboard, locked broom cupboard, because you're going to deplete
I'm
all your
gonna,
own
yeah.
oxygen.
Do you
And
need
so
an
this is considered an A and B,
Just a B and
or
C.
just a B and C? Okay.
A-rated fires are ordinary combustibles, so wood, paper, fabric, anything that creates an ash.
Yeah.
B-rated fires are flammable liquids, so you have all your oils or your motor oil fluid and your hydraulic fluid and those things of that nature. And C-rated fires are electrical rated fires.
What do you use if you have a metal fire?
A metal fire would be a Class D. So if it's a fire extinguisher that used to be very rare and nobody even really knew about it. But now with how technology is changing with all the cars, the
Batteries and whatnot.
cars. Yeah, I don't know if you've watched any car shows, but you see these cars catch fire and they keep reigniting for like 5 weeks because the battery cells
Wow.
keep reigniting. And they're probably going to have to come up with something. Right?
Yeah.
A Class D is what's currently
Yeah.
available for magnesium, heavy metal fires, battery fires, and things of that nature. Because you're on your American flag, and because you're
Yeah.
here in the US, you'd fall under US Coast Guard or ABYC code. If you're foreign flagged, then you'd have to abide by IMO code as well, and your flag code, which would be gleaned from SOLAS,
Okay,
or large
yeah.
lot code, or the FSS code.
Uh-huh.
So, as with most things in life, everybody's code feels they're more important than everybody else.
Of
So
course.
the best rule of thumb is lay all the codes out, find the strictest one, and adhere to that.
Yep. And when you discharge one of these, is it a throwaway or do you get it refilled?
You can get it refilled. Absolutely. These cylinder CO2s come with a high pressure cylinder, Department of Transport high pressure cylinder. So it is subject to hydrostatic testing of intervals
Okay.
every 5 years, or sooner if the cylinder shows any sign of, integrity,
Yeah.
possible
Yeah.
structural integrity damage or anything like that. Then we do it on a more regular basis.
Right.
But the minimum is every 5 years.
Okay. And so if we discharge that, we'll call you and
Absolutely.
you'll have it recharged properly.
We'd come and get it recharged for you straight away. Yeah.
Perfect. Now it's the automatic fire suppression system.
Do you love your job? Or do you do your job?
So here's the bottle. Halon 1301 Fireboy. And so Glenn, what do we need to do in order to test and verify that this cylinder is in good shape?
Well, we're going to give it a physical inspection, obviously, which is something you can also do every month to keep an eye on it. But because the age of this system and because of the characteristics of it, the only way to confirm it's 100% full is we're going to have to weigh it.
Okay.
So we've got to pull it off the bulkhead, weigh it, and confirm it's within tolerance, and all that information will be on the label.
Okay. And does it matter which orientation the bottle is?
It
at?
does. Each manufacturer has slightly different regulations and rules, and depending on how big the fire suppression system is, some you can mount horizontally, some vertically. But regardless of which way it's oriented, as long as it's to code by the manual, you
Yeah.
do want it as high as possible within the space, because obviously your heat rises, and your actuation point is right here
Yeah.
at the
And-
nozzle there.
And with any of the handhelds or this, do you need to periodically rotate it to mix the whatever's inside?
Correct. Not with the suppression system. You just you leave that to your certified fire company to come in and get that inspected. But your portable fire extinguishers is actually in the NFPA 10 that every month you should conduct what they call a quick check. A quick check is a confirmation that the seal, your tamper seal that you have that's holding the pin, that's
yeah.
still in place. The pin
Yeah.
hasn't come out. You want to check the gauge that's in the correct position,
Yeah.
and you want to give it a physical inspection. At that point, if it's a dry chemical powder, stored pressure extinguisher, you can invert it. You don't have to beat it up too much. You just want to invert it and tap the bottom, even with just tap the sides, and you'll feel the powder drop away. So there's no clumping inside.
Yep.
Fire extinguishers have a siphon tube, a pickup tube running right
Okay.
up inside. So if the powder is moving freely, it will nicely flow up through and out the nozzle. to
Makes
discharge.
sense. Makes sense. And then with this fixed system, you can have some models that will turn off your blowers and turn off your engines, correct?
Correct. You have, majority of fire suppression systems have a pressure switch on the side that is regulating the pressure inside. It'll be a normally closed or normally open circuit. If you wire this to a relay box, and then wire that relay box to various devices on board, which would be your engines, your generators, your blowers, any dampers, louvers, anything that can be fired automatically. Once the fire system is discharged, it will energize that relay box, which will in turn energize your machinery and shut it all down. Fire systems are designed to discharge and empty in under 10 seconds. So if you have an automatic fire system and no way of shutting things down, you'd never have time to get everything shut down. You know? So it's today's code states if you purchased a brand new fire system today, it says right on the box, as soon as you pull it out, it says the manufacturer recommends you shut down all devices in the manual. It recommends any diesel machinery or blowers, forced ventilation. You know, it's all in there. You're basically sealing this hazard space so that you can successfully put out the fire. The other thing we're going to check today is we're going to confirm the capability of the fire suppression system, what cubic volume it can conduct, and then we're going to measure from bulkhead to bulkhead. It will allow for curvature of the hull, and we'll confirm that it is big enough for the space.
Perfect.
So we don't have, years ago, somebody put a suppression system in for 200 cubic feet, and we have an 800 cubic foot engine room.
Right.
So we'll confirm that as well today. Then we'll create you a report so that you have it on paper that it's been inspected and certified by a manufacturer-approved, a state-approved company.
Beautiful. And then, Glenn, we spoke before that Halon is still illegal. You just can't refill the bottle if it discharges. Is that pretty much correct?
The big confusion is Halon is banned. Well, the production of Halon is banned.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. Halon, Montreal Protocol Act, I believe, was 1992. They banned the production of Halon, you know. But as with most things, old systems didn't really have a phase out. This particular system is exempt from any kind of hydrostatic testing. It's an aluminum cylinder, so other than oxidization, it'll never rust. If it weighs out, you have so what happens is there's no way you can ever buy a new system. So they kind of move the goalposts. So now when you buy a system, it's subject to visual external requalifications every 5 years, hydrostatic testing, you know, all kinds of, they're mild steel cylinders, they're subject to different regulations, so that I'm sure it's, off the record, I'm sure it's because the manufacturers want to be able to sell product. Sell something that never needs replacement doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. And the new fire suppression systems for engine rooms, are they typically CO2 now?
You can still get CO2, but majority for a vessel of this nature, you would get, the industry standard is FM200, which is also known as HFC 227. It's exactly the same agent. It's just manufactured by two different, Great Lakes Chemical and DuPont in Canada. So they market it under two different names, but it's the same agent. Certain manufacturers use HFC 227, other manufacturers will see it says FM200, but it's the same. It doesn't displace oxygen, it rapidly cools the room and doesn't allow reflash. So the technical term they use is they're extinguishing fire by a chemical reaction, basically. They're eliminating that heat source from that triangle.
Right.
And what that gives you is, because it's not displacing oxygen, it gives you that peace of mind that if you're in here and somebody accidentally fired it or knocked it and it went off, you know, it wouldn't displace all the oxygen.
Right, you're just going to freeze to death.
Exactly. It will give you a frostbite burn if it was right on your skin.
Nice.
Yeah, it is very, very, very cold.
Nice.
So what we're here looking for here is, the cylinder's in great shape. We're going to give it a physical inspection. We've got no corrosion at all. And we have our information on our weights on the side.
Imagine that, no corrosion on a boat. That's something you don't hear very often.
Alright, we're at 27.7 pounds. In the pounds, so we are exactly pretty much on the money.
Alright.
On
Nice.
the money. Now the newer suppression systems, they have a liquid quartz bulb in here, which would be like a sprinkler head. So it has the green liquid inside, you know, if you went into a building.
Yep.
The way they used to do it, I'll get my pen so I can, this little plate right here has a little O-ring on the inside of that, and it's basically sat there, and this little device is holding that plate right there, holding all the agent inside.
Okay.
So this you see how it's two diameters?
Yep.
Essentially what they do is it's almost like a flux, that solder or that flux. They've been pulled apart, and when they reach 165 degrees ambient temperature, it heats up and allows the pressure from the bottle to push this way, and this will come out of the seal, and the entire contents will discharge out, hit this displacement plate, and extinguish the engine.
Excellent. And then there is a manual pool that you can have installed as well, right? Which this one does not have.
This one does, and this particular cylinder is not set up to allow for a manual pull cable. So these models, they don't obviously have them anymore, but this is the Model 200 CG. If you were to purchase a brand new Fireboard today, a CG model is automatic only, and if you buy an MA model, that's manual automatic. And even if you don't install the pull cable, it has a hole in the back of the head and a device on the bulb so that you can connect it. We always recommend, regardless of what your plans are, we always recommend, if a surveyor says you want an automatic system, we always recommend you purchase a manual automatic.
Yep, makes sense.
If if you know there's a fire on board, you want to extinguish it, you've got to wait for it to reach ambient temperature, whereas you can actually discharge it yourself.
It's putting the cylinder back up.
Getting it cramped.
Passed with flying colors. It's rated for how many cubic feet? 1,000? 1,100?
1,000 cubic feet.
And we're under 1,000 cubic feet, just over 900 feet of space in this engine room. And that's gross, so it doesn't account for the tankage, which we could factor that in. So we are well equipped for this space.
Well, there you have it. All of our fire extinguishing systems have been inspected and are all set to go in the worst case scenario. I want to thank Fire Ranger and Glenn. I can't recommend them enough. Give them a call, get them on board, give you a tutorial, get your fire extinguishing systems up to snuff. And I want to thank all of you for watching. I hope it was informative for you. I know there was a lot of information and it wasn't your typical lifestyle video, but I think it was a very important thing to show you. So be safe out there. We'll see you next time. And as always, give us that good old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, throw a comment below, make sure you hit that bell so that you know when we post the next video, which who knows when that's going to happen, but hopefully it's going to be a little bit more frequently as long as our computer cooperates with us. We have some very exciting news. We finally got the Aqua-Cultured website up and running. That's only taken like 4 years. So you can go to aqua-cultured.com. We will have the link in the description below, and you can get yourself some of this nifty apparel. We've got t-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hats, we have stickers, we have rash guards. We're adding new stuff all the time. And every purchase you make, we're going to take $1 of that money and we're going to donate it to a select aquaculture research and conservation effort somewhere in the world. We do have some highlighted on the website, so check them out. They're great organizations. This is a near and dear thing to me. What I used to do, aquaculture corals. So please support the mission, spread the word. Check it out, let us know what you think, and of course when you buy your apparel, send us a photo with you in that item doing whatever aquaculture activity you're doing, and we'll maybe include you on the website in some of our videos. We greatly appreciate seeing that support.
Someday I'm going away where the wind don't cry and the spirits learn to fly. Someday I'm going away on the catch from the South Seas. Mr. Hemingway, won't you please?
The trash can. It's all on you at this
Oh
point.
my gosh. Okay.
This-
I'm gonna grab my
this is
extinguisher.
the 3-minute fire
I'm
extinguisher training.
gonna pull. Oh my gosh, this one's hurt.
So you can pull it. There you go.
I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna aim.
Aim at the.
Base of the fire. I'm gonna squeeze and sweep. So it's happening. I'm squeezing. Yes!
Expert!